Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and create a data scraping demo, and this is for COP 4020 as an example of how to do the assignment. I'm going to go ahead and extend out the assignment due date also to make sure you have time to get this done. Okay, so I have a C# console application. The first thing I need to make sure I do is pull in the networking libraries. Okay, and the workhorse for doing this is going to be a web client class. By the way, I'm doing this all from the seat of my pants. I don't happen to have any notes, so you may see a mistake or two. Okay, so we've created the web client. Now we're going to say HTML data equals WC, and the function we're going to use, the method we're going to use is download string. You could use a method called download data. That's mostly going to be for binary data. We'll put the URL here. Now we just want to make sure that this part of it works. So we're going to use a console.writeLine and just make sure we've got the data. It works. I think everything looks good. Let's go and run it. And that is the HTML data we're looking for. Okay. So let me get rid of this console.writeLine. So now we have the data. Now all we have to do is parse it. So here I've got the data opened up in Notepad++, and I just want to take a really quick look at it and see what I need to do. So here we have this outer div panels, and here we have pane blocks. What we're really interested in, I'm not sure what the assignment asked for, but what we're really interested in is this pane text here. So I'm actually going to go ahead and parse it. We could parse on pane blocks, but it will be a little bit easier if we parse on pane text. So we're going to use some string operations to go ahead and find pane text. I think the first thing I'm going to do is go ahead and make a static variable, a static string. Text. Now you'll notice that it's not happy with these quote marks within quote marks. So all you do is escape them out, and then everything's like totally good. We're also going to be looking for a div, so let me go ahead and see a div is going to end the pane text. Let's go ahead and say div end equals div. There are lots of these. There are lots of these div ends, but if you remember the data that we looked at, if we find this, we're going to directly, an end div comes right after it. So that's all we need to think about. So we're going to start off, I usually use an index variable, index. I always name it index, just because it'll be an index into the HTML data. So HTML data, index of, we'll say pane text. And that actually should find it. A couple of things I'm actually doing that could be done better. I really need a try-catch block around all of this. So let's go ahead and do that just to be safe. So we'll say console writeLine index.message to string. Oops. Okay, so there we've got our, and the thing we want to look for here is if it doesn't find that text, it's going to be a -1. Index will be a -1 if it doesn't find the text you're looking for. So we're going to use a while loop. We're going to say while index is greater than or equal to 0, meaning something's been found. Okay. And the next thing we're going to do equals, now we're looking for that closed div tag. HTML data.index of div And now this actually would work, except it won't work right. This will find the first div end in that entire string, so we have to actually tell it where to start. And we're going to start at index, right? So it's going to find, it'll find, let me see. So if we find this, it's going to point right here at the beginning of div, right? And then if we search for the div end, div close, it'll get us to there, okay? So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to say string found text equals HTML data dot substring index and index minus index. So it's going to be the start and the length. And let's go ahead and just do a console.write line. And really, that's all you need to do for your assignment. Found text. All right, so that takes care of that. Now, there is a slight mistake that we'll see. This is not 100% correct. And let's go ahead and run it, and you'll see what I mean when we have to actually fix it up. Now we want to make index go past this index and see if we can find something else, another instance of this. So we'll say index equals end index. Doesn't matter. That's fine. Now I'm going to steal this line here. And we still have to make sure we're looking there. Okay. So this actually should work. Let's hope it does. If not, I'll have to go fix it. Okay, so it actually did. The only thing that bothers me about this is that here we're showing this div tag, and I don't want to do that. So let's go ahead. That's what I was referring to before. What I want to make sure is on the substring, instead of actually showing that div tag, we're going to say we're going to go past it. So we're going to say pane text dot length. Okay, and that'll get us past it. And then end index minus index plus pane text dot length. So that should get rid of that tag. Okay. Now you'll notice that we have like these blank spaces. So the next thing we're going to do is get rid of those blank spaces, and we're going to say we're going to put a dot trim out here. Let's see what that does. Probably help that. See, that actually helped a lot. And the last thing, which is not a requirement for you to do, is to get rid of all of these inner tags. So I'm going to say that it's okay if you don't do that for right now, because actually that is pretty complicated to do. I'm also going to put an extra line feed there, so it separates them. Okay, so that's the end of the assignment. That's everything that's going to be expected of you.